So, well, we've already seen it's Metal Sonic, but we just saw that robot there. It looked just like Shadow. This is something worth conversation.
I shall find the answer to who I really am.
You could always just ask Rouge. Like, she knows you. Her first reaction when she saw you was Shadow. That means she knows you, Shadow. You could just ask her. And granted, she could just tell you anyway, but you could just ask her. But yeah, that would be a good thing to have a conversation about. This graphic right here, it's got water in it and everything. It's not in the PS2 version. I really need to stop suddenly changing what I'm saying. Yeah, we see that robot. What does that mean? Nothing. Not in this game anyway. It means absolutely nothing. We'll see more of them at the end of the story, but even then, it means nothing. Like, Rouge and Omega will see them. Doesn't mean anything. And we're not going to have a conversation about it now or anything like that. Why is there a robot that looks like me? Does this mean I'm a robot? I mean, granted, Shadow the Hedgehog, he comes to that conclusion awfully quickly. And as much as I don't like that android story in Shadow the Hedgehog, at the very least he brings mention to it. Even though he's clearly seen them before already. But yeah. In Team Chaos 6, spoiler warning. Why did I grab that? Oh, I don't have any rings. Screw it, I'm taking the hit. Come at me! Interestingly enough, when you drop your rings and you pick them up, it still builds up your Team Blast gauges, I just saw then. Not a very good place for the Cameron. Jumped there too early. We're just going to ignore the Shadow Android. They become a bit of a larger part in Shadow the Hedgehog. Not that it means anything, because it's on the neutral pathway, and well, that potentially means that, well, the ending is non-canon. And I don't know exactly what we do in Shadow the Hedgehog before getting to the last story, so I'm guessing that we never encounter them truly in Shadow the Hedgehog, which means they mean absolutely nothing there as well. What happened there? I was clearly going for the middle loop, and Omega just for some reason, no, we must go to the right. Even though I have no level ups, these two are both somehow better than me. That's a bit awkward to land on that. One of my favourite lines for Omega in this game is actually during the team battles. If you lose one of your other teammates, or both of them, I'm not sure, Omega will then say, well, that's a load off my back. Which is odd. I mean, if you stay still, Omega will say, combat abilities of these two are beyond my expectations. But it's like, Omega just really doesn't want to be around these two. Maybe he just gets better feelings. You know, he's a robot with emotions. I always did like that scene in Sonic 06. Where it's like, even though I don't know where the whole ceiling shadow in the future really comes from, I do like the, it shows the bond between the three, and that's the only time I will ever praise a cutscene that isn't one of the cool CGI cutscenes in Sonic 06. Otherwise, I will never praise a cutscene in Sonic 06. Unless it looks good. Even though one CGI cutscene is anything but good. It shows a kissy kiss, and it's not a very nice kissy kiss. And as with the points, we still get 2,000 points, even though we technically only destroyed one. All the others were destroyed with the Eggnite. If you destroy the destroying the Eggnite, all those that will disappear around it, it will still count towards the 100 enemies thing. That would have counted as about 5 enemies. Once again, we can take the upper path here. The upper path isn't worth as many points there, but it can be a bit faster. You do have to wait out a little while here. So one up here. Yes. Well, it seems like I have a lot of these guys. This is how you're supposed to take out a gold camera. Flip it upside down with a tornado, and then attack its soft underside. That's how you're supposed to take them out. Should you off-screen it, it will be back on, well, on its back. And anytime you off-screen an enemy, its health will regenerate. This flower is actually here for each team, but I don't think they wanted you to get here for Team Rose or Team Chaotix, but it is there. Now, if you go here for Team Chaotix, you'll reach the end of the upper pathway. I don't think you can go beyond it. But it's like the goal ring is on the lower pathway, so that's where you have to go. And Team Rose, I don't think... No, Team Rose in general don't actually reach this far. Maybe it's one of the... Because there's a number of Team Rose's levels, you can actually go beyond the goal ring. And generally the level layout will be the same as Team Sonic. Sometimes you can actually get to an alternate goal ring. Sometimes the level won't be in the same... sometimes the level will prevent you from going anywhere. So what you can do is restart. But that flower is there for Team Chaotix as well, but it won't be of any use to you since the goal ring is on the lower path. I don't think they intended you to get up there, but where the ivy, that's right where that bouncy fruit was, if you take that, if you jump at the ivy right as it begins to go upwards, it goes up completely vertically to the upper pathway, but you can still ride on that. You technically won't fall off until you get to the very top of it. Okay, and you can actually still get to the flower by doing that. You can just about get enough height and then jump off. Alright, now one thing I just want to make, one thing I really hate about the frog levels for Team Dark. The extra missions go on forever. Because when you take like the fastest pathways, there's only about 60 of, there's only like just over 60 enemies. Which essentially means you have to do almost the entire level twice. And this applies to Frog Forest and Lost Jungle. Screw him. And these are the worst when it comes to the Team Dark extra missions. Unfortunately, we have to get this guy to croak, so we have to cancel Chaos Control. No speed bonus. Yeah, these ones can take, even for the A rank time, it's like 13.5 minutes. For an A rank. These are my least favourite non-Team Chaotix extra missions. The Rail Canyon ones are pretty bad as well, as are the casino ones, but I reckon these are the worst just in terms of length. Otherwise, the only other one that I really don't like for Team Dark would be Bingo Highway, because, again, you have to restart the level, but it requires you to go through that final bingo section, where it has all the really annoyingly placed bumpers. And then that final bingo table can waste your time a bit. Yeah, these are my least favorite ones, especially Lost Jungle, because it really wastes your time at the end. I'm fine for the regular mission, not for the extra mission. Speaking of Lost Jungle, not really many changes here either. Thankfully, the alligator section is exactly the same as Team Sonic. Like, there's absolutely no difference whatsoever. There's no extra enemies. There's no hidden ivies or anything like that. It's exactly the same. You just gotta hope they work, which sometimes they don't. GameCube version, PS2 version, doesn't matter. What do you mean it doesn't matter? It doesn't matter. It's the theme song for SA1 and 2. This one has We Can. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Ooh. Yeah, trying to land on that rail is a bit weird. Like, you're on it, but it doesn't seem to act like you're on it. Oh, let's get the big guy. I forgot he was there. These guys are technically worth 1,000 points. It's 500 for actually defeating him. And you're supposed to get 500 for getting the level up. I didn't see myself getting 500, getting 1,000 points there. I only got 500. I didn't get any points for the level up. Already have that emerald. We have all the emeralds, so we don't need to do any special stage, any second special stages. Can we get it? No, we missed. I think it's a speed. I think it's speed shoes. Yeah. Not that it means anything, I can never tell the difference. See, that rocket's Excel, not much of a rocket, not much of an Excel. It didn't exactly take me very far. I don't know what determines the speed of the rocket's Excel, because it doesn't seem to be your level ups. Sometimes I'll go really far, sometimes I won't go very far, and sometimes that one was more like in the middle. It also seems to change the sound effect of the rocket Excel. Like if it sounds really deep and everything, you don't go very far. If it's much more high pitched, you go flying. And that can be really annoying. Ah. Bad timing. Yeah, you can still stun the spiked flappers even when their spikes are up. And that can be a problem. I mean, whether they're armored or not, you can still stun them and they'll fall with the spikes up. And they're not going to go back down until he's back up again. And I think they have to be fully ascended before they do anything as well. So he wouldn't have been too much of a problem because he doesn't fall very far. I really hate it when the homing attack chains have them as well. Thankfully that one you can skip it, you can just get them with Thundershoot and do it that way. Every now and then, the IVs swing the other way. Sometimes it just happens when you don't jump far. You know what, let's take the other route. Sometimes it only happens when you don't swing off the peak of the jump. Not always the case. Right, those springs don't work on PS2. Ever. Never go through that loop on the PS2 version. Any team. I think with some teams that Ivy isn't there as well, so what you have to do is you have to jump in the loop, so you gain control of yourself, then jump out of the loop, and then fly to the platform, because those springs will not work on PS2. So I just thought I'd show off the island, since I skipped it for Team Sonic. How did I do that? The mushroom's inside the case. Is there still stuff up here? It's only Team Sonic, I think, have an area where you can actually progress with that Ivy, but there is still stuff here. I think Team Rose is the only one that doesn't have anything up there. Ooh, it's going to be more difficult now. I normally have a Team Blast here, but I wasted my Team Blast. I'm not wasting it now. Come on, when's Omega going to get some power-ups? Or some level-ups? Yeah, this is where Team Rose will end. I don't know if this, like, if you're fast enough you can extend the level, I'm not sure. Because there will be a green frog that blocks your pathway, I'm not sure if you're fast enough to be able to outrun it. Because you can get past the goal ring in a number of Team Rose's levels. I know with Mystic Mansion, once you get to the Lightspeed Dash Trail for Team Sonic, you can't progress any further than that. Bullet Station has an additional goal ring. It's not like the full level. There's just an additional goal ring there for some reason. Casino Park, you can finish the level. It also allows Team Rose to get to the VIP table, where they actually do have quotes for it. I don't know what other levels you might be able to do it in there. Bullet Station, you can do it as well, but it's a very hard jump to make. Apparently at level 3, the fly formation can fly further, but I never noticed the difference. So, but apparently in order to make that extra jump in Bullet Station for Team Rose, Cream needs to be at level 3. So it obviously makes some sort of a difference. Screw it, I'm doing it this way. You think the punch enough would be enough to make it fall over? I can't see what I'm doing, camera. There we go. The Team Dark actually have to go through that middle section. Yeah, so here is what they want you to do. That frog is unavoidable, so he'll kill the plants. And apparently this one, his rain is also able to regrow plants. And even though both frogs are croaking, it's not an issue. It's not like the plant can't determine whether or not to grow or to die. So I think the rain, I'm not sure if the rain is timed or if you just gotta get a certain distance away. Right, watch out here because this Ivy launches you right into that thing. Really not great enemy placement there. I believe that's the only one. No, I'm guessing you need to activate the frog. I'm just gonna say that, activate the frog. It looks so weird when these Ivies just grow out of each other. Like there's just suddenly two graphics. Right, here we go again. If they weren't commenting on the frogs, I'm sure they comment on the alligator. Shadow, that is inaccurate. Frogs have spines. How do you think they make their bodies that bendy in the first place? This thing has a spine as well. The only thing here that's a spineless creature is the one that isn't a creature. He's a robot. It's a good thing that, like, Gamma and Beta both had the Flicky's parents in Sonic Adventure inside them. It's a good thing Gamma doesn't have any of the Flicky's relatives inside him. Omega. Because that would be awkward. His parents will never be freed. Yeah, that's an A rank. I think this is like my least favourite of Team Dark's extra mission levels. Only because that alligator section wastes so much time. There's no enemies there, but in order to continue on and reset the level, you have to go through it.
Look, it's that hedgehog.
Wonder what the big rush is all about. Bet you those guys will end up getting in my way and making trouble.
Hey, isn't that...
Sonic! Talk about being stubborn and full of surprises.
Long time no see, boys. Too bad you had to come all this way for nothing. We'll take it from here.
What'd you say?
Sensors locked on Eggman. Non-compliant intruders will be destroyed.
Didn't you know? We have a date with Eggman, too.
Is that so? Well then, it'll be a date to die for.
Hey, that's my line.
Wait, that line, look, it's that hedgehog. So Shadow knows who Sonic is then. When did he get a chance to find out about Sonic again?
Not the best way to greet those you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, whichever team you're fighting, they still have the same quotes. It's just that they'll be swapped round. It's like if we were fighting, when we were playing as Team Sonic, we heard Shadow say, "What was with that hedgehog that looked like my twin?" So he's gonna say it here instead. Oh, we're gonna fail this one. Sonic's out. Knuckles isn't. And when Knuckles is on the ground, he actually does look like that weird thing that's in the Sonic Heroes McDonald's Happy Meal advert from Pakistan. Yeah, it's actually accurate. It's simply what Knuckles looks like when he's on the floor. If you haven't seen that yet, check it out. It is so bizarre.